What happens at a Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall? Let's find out.
All around the world, people come together every week at places of worship called Kingdom Halls. Have you ever wondered what happens inside a Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses? It's a place where Bible study programs and lectures are held each week.
The first time I attended a meeting, I felt very happy. The atmosphere was so good. I've never seen anything like it anywhere else.
The people are loving, orderly, and show an interest in people.
Okay, first impressions. This is a nice video. The production team did a really good job. The music is very upbeat. It's got a little twinkle, a little jingle to it. I want to comment on the two sisters who gave testimonials. I know it's the case with a lot of people who finally broke down and went to a meeting. A lot of them have expressed it was so welcoming. Oh, that was so nice. This is a prime example of something called love bombing. Love bombing is overwhelming a newcomer with kindness and showing really intense personal interest. Basically saying like, look, we don't bite. Come into the fold. Steven Hassan. Hassan is the leading cult expert in the US. In this article here on Psychology Today, he describes love bombing. He says, this is the courtship phase of the recruitment ritual. The leader wishes to seduce the new recruit into the organization's embrace, slowly habituating them to its strange rituals and complex belief systems. At this early stage, resistance will be at its highest. Individual consideration is a perfect means to overcome it by blurring the distinctions between personal relationships, theoretical constructs, and bizarre behaviors. I like how he put that. It's basically like, yeah, you're gonna hear some weird stuff. You might see a ripped angel warding off SWAT teams and scaring the shit out of our kids. But hey, we're so nice. It'll all make sense. Don't worry about it. They're conditioned to do this. This is something they practice every week at their meetings. But I don't think they have any nefarious intention. It's like, ooh, they're consciously trying to pull you into something that's harmful. Like they have bad motives. Maybe they got pulled in the same way, or they were born into it and they don't know anything else. Also, to say that everyone is orderly and that, there's no one else on the planet like Jehovah's Witnesses, that's just inaccurate. I know my husband and I visited at least 6 or 7 churches after we disassociated from the organization, visited different denominations, and all of them had friendly, welcoming congregations. They were just as sincere as the witnesses and were very dignified. So Jehovah's Witnesses are not the only ones who demonstrate these characteristics.
Every meeting is open to the public. Seats are free and no collections are ever taken. Families are invited to attend and learn together.
I'll give them that. They never passed a collection plate around, but the whole seats are free as if that's some kind of cool perk of going to the Kingdom Hall. I don't know of another church that charges you like a admission. This whole, family-friendly pitch that they sit together and they learn together. There are a few benefits and downsides. One, you could say you have control over your kid, meaning they stay with you. They're not passed off to some stranger in a back room somewhere. Generally speaking, everybody sits together in the same space. The downside to that, speaking as someone who was raised in the organization, born in it, you don't know what they're going to talk about, and your children are going to be exposed to topics that are probably beyond their developmental capacity. It's not like they're in an age-appropriate children's program. But also I feel like Dwight Schrute, where he's like, these are the money beats. They put the money beats in the front. They're showing these really happy, perky children to pitch this as a joyous occasion, even for kids. And I can tell you right now, having grown up in the Witnesses, we were only happy and smiling like that because the meeting was over. They're not going to show you the bored, restless Jehovah's Witness children who had school all day and homework, and then their parents dragged them to the meeting at 7:30 at night for 2 hours. And I just got to say this, stop putting your kid in a suit. He's not an adult. Look, if you want to take a family photo at Sears and put your kid in a suit, that's your right as a parent. But when you require these kids to look like carbon copies of the corporate bigwigs that run this organization, there's something really creepy and inappropriate about imposing that dress code on small children. They're really trying to sell this, it's happy, fun for the whole family. So let's keep going.
All meetings begin and end with song and prayer. One meeting, usually held on the weekend, includes a 30-minute Bible discourse especially designed for the general public. After that, there's a question and answer discussion based on an article in the study edition of the Watchtower magazine. Participation is always voluntary.
Okay, so this is significant, this 30-minute talk presented on Sunday, specially designed for the general public, because the Sunday talk is usually a more simplified, positive sermon that they know the public is going to be able to digest. The midweek meeting is a whole other animal. The content that's presented and consumed at the midweek meeting would probably turn a lot of people off, and it has over the years. Midweek meeting talks more about how everyone who's not a Jehovah's Witness is destined for destruction. They practice their recruitment tactics, so it's more of an insider view. Yeah, this is not an insignificant point. A nice, uplifting 30-minute talk that isn't too cray. Then they mention the Watchtower study, how it's always voluntary, which is true. You're not forced to comment, but anyone who knows the culture of the organization knows that there's a lot of pressure to comment and engage. Like, mom and dad, come on, you better comment during the meeting. Oh, I know some people, when they visit the Kingdom Hall, they think it's like commenting is their time to give their testimony. I've been saved. I know I'm not the only one. So many awkward comments where people who don't understand the protocol or the etiquette of commenting at a Jehovah's Witness meeting. Yeah, it's not that kind of church. And in some cases, I think this is interesting, sexual abuse survivors have actually planted themselves in the audience and have used that opportunity to stand up and blast their abuser, and they were hauled away like a feral animal. Anyways, this whole participation thing, that it's voluntary and it's really engaging and everybody looks excited, that's a stretch.
At one of the meetings during the week, we not only study the Bible, but also receive training in public speaking.
Everyone is invited to the Christian meetings, including those who are not Jehovah's Witnesses.
You can go into any Kingdom Hall and receive the same program of Bible instruction.
So I'm going to quote this brother who says, one of the meetings during the week, we not only study the Bible, but we also receive training in public speaking. When they use this umbrella term of public speaking, this is misleading. Because yeah, you're learning public speaking with the intent of indoctrinating others. And, making sure that young men, like this young brother here, make sure he grows up to be an elder or ministerial servant and just, repeats the cycle. They're farming from their own. This isn't some general public speaking or Toastmasters program. And I will say, when I was growing up in the organization, it was very stringent. It was just Watchtower programming that we had to organize into some cohesive and engaging argument. Okay, and then this sister here, you can go into any Kingdom Hall and receive the same program of Bible instruction. I'll be honest, this was something that I used to pride myself on as a witness. You could go anywhere in the world, and find your people. Of course, this doesn't cancel out or negate all the toxic, destructive ideology that they're teaching at the meeting. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap this up.
Bible education, upbuilding association, and the opportunity to praise God await you at Christian meetings of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Again, this is very nice. This is a slick video. They didn't present anything in this video that's necessarily off base, but as with any cult, of course, they're going to present that very polished intro video with very simple, rudimentary language and testimonials. But when viewed through a realistic lens from someone who went to meetings for 30 years, 2 to 3 times a week, this is a very hyped portrayal of what is, in reality, a very dull and tiring experience, especially when you do it every week, year in and year out, your whole life. Some people spend their whole lives in this building. If you take a look at this image that was posted to Reddit, I think 7 years ago, this is a more accurate depiction of what it's like to go to the Kingdom Hall. It's a very sterile, homogenized environment, not exactly hopping like their PR video. And once you start going, this is what they're not going to tell you. Once you start going, you're on the grid. If you suddenly start fading or backing off, they're going to come looking for you, especially if you're an official baptized witness, because if you manage to fly under the radar, that's it. Something must be up. You're up to no good. And they're going to start their hunt so they can prosecute. Again, if you know, you know. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. See you soon.